Hi, this is Hayden Johnson of Capital Chaos TV calling for Steve Tucker.
Yeah, Steve Tucker, man. What's happening, bro?
Nothing much. I just have a few interview questions for you. Hopefully won't take up too much of your day.
Right on, let's do it.
Alrighty. Your new album, I feel like it's such a powerhouse, and it has a lot of apocalyptic references. The cover kind of showing the old gods awakening and discovering the world already destroyed. What do you think stands out within the lyrics and artwork that would give kind of a greater message about the album?
I think the one message would be that I think we were deserved that. I think that what people have done to this planet, the way that people treat this planet, the way people treat each other, I think that we fully would deserve the gods waking up and wiping us from the planet. That's really the entire concept of the album. It's really about the state of the world. I mean, even from track to track, I mean, you can see through the titles what it's actually starting to reference without even listening to the album. And for me, I just think that people as a whole have become very, very only self-serving. I mean, it's really an individual, righteous sort of idealism that seems to flow through people on this planet now. It doesn't really seem people are too concerned about anyone outside of their listening range, if you will.
Yeah. It does really make sense, and I do agree with you on a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, to me, man, I'm not somebody who, I don't want to bring death and destruction upon the world itself, but I mean, as an observer, I mean, that's all I've watched my entire life, dude.
You just have to be a realist.
I've seen people being killed on television for who knows why, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Who knows why? I mean, whether it's oil or whether it's a difference of opinion, whether it's a difference in, what they believe in, who they believe in, or how they believe. I mean, it's just a constant battle, man. And everyone seems to be so righteous. I mean, if the United States bombs someone, we say, hey, I mean, we bomb them because essentially, they don't live the way we think they should live, which is kind of fucking bullshit. I mean,
yep.
It really honestly
yep.
is ridiculous. I mean, to think that we bomb people, and I'm no anti-war protester. I'm not that at all. I understand that the human beings, conflict is part of our nature, and being the strongest one, it's really part of our makeup. I mean, it's why people, it's why racism exists. It's why sexism exists. It's why every problem of conflict exists. It usually comes down to the fact that whoever's causing the issue feels righteous in the fact that they're doing it, like they're supposedly somehow doing the right thing, and maybe they are for them, but the right thing for one person is not necessarily the right thing for another person.
Yep. Totally get you. Out of all the albums that you were a part of, what was your favorite or least favorite to work on?
Oh man, I mean, we're talking over 20 years worth of albums. Every single album, it has its own challenge. I mean, the first album I came in would have been, probably for me personally, one of the most difficult formulas because of the amount of lyrics and things like that. Formulas was, it was a 12-hour-a-day job, man, for months on end to make that album happen. So I would have to say, only by default, because it was the first one, formulas would definitely have been the most difficult.
Gotcha. How was the recording and production process of Kingdom of Disdain, and do you think that working with Eric Rutan played a large role in its overall success?
Man, I think that working with Eric, I mean, Eric is, Eric's one of my very best friends. I mean, we've all been friends for well over 20 years. And working with Eric made sure that we were comfortable more than anything. And I know that it was the right choice. I know he was the right person to work through. And I think, yeah, it would definitely lead to the overall success just due to the basic fact of comfort, of going in and knowing that, we're here with someone that we trust, someone we know, and I mean, really, he knows what we're going for in the end. He's not going to try and change that. He's not going to give these crazy opinions like that we don't want to hear. You know what I mean? He knows the people involved, man. He knows how to. Eric's a genius when it comes to dealing with people, and I mean, especially on an individual basis, which is what you have to do when you're recording someone, because you don't record the entire band at the same time. I mean, so you have to deal with people on an individual level, and that's something that I believe is his specialty. And I think it definitely led to this success just because it kept a fluid creativity going.
For the time that you were out of Morbid Angel, do you have a favorite David Vincent era album?
I mean, Man Covenant is, to me, an amazing album. For me, dude, I have to say, and this is not a knock on David at all, but, Morbid for me has always been about Trey, dude. It's always been Trey's, ability and Trey's vision and things like that. I mean, I feel about David the same way I feel about myself. I mean, our job is to finish it. Our job is to polish it up and turn it into finalized songs, but Trey is the true genius behind it, and I really think Covenant, the flow of that being the third album, and you're almost used to the process, things like that. I think it was a very, very exceptional album, and for myself, I mean, the one that for me being on Gateways was just somehow just this fluid exception to the rules. You know what I mean? It just went so well.
With you playing and being a part of one of the most legendary acts within metal, who were some of your greatest influences for playing or life?
Man, one of my biggest influences is James Hetfield. And I mean, I'm talking, prior to, I would say 92 or 3. I mean, James Hetfield for me is the epitome of a front man. He is, we share the same job. He's playing guitar, I'm playing bass, but we share the same job essentially. And I still, to this day, I think he is the predominant man as far as it comes with frontman. The other one would be Lemmy. I mean, Lemmy was just a monster, man. I mean, he didn't have he wasn't so refined as like James Hetfield. He was much nastier but there's just something about that guy being in the middle and just holding it all down that really, for me, was very influential. And I'm Blackie Lawless from Wasp. He's another guy, man, very influential for me, man. The front man is, dude, it's not an easy job. It's not a job that, a lot of people, I think, could even do. It's not a job a lot of people would want. It scared the shit out of them, bro.
I know that I definitely have respect for the people on stage. That's a damn sure fact.
I mean, going up there, dude, that's essentially going up there. It's like handling explosives, dude. At any second, everything could go wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it does. But you're professional and we do our homework, man. We work our ass off, before the tour, man. We practice so many hours, and then by the time we get on stage, we're ready. But at the same time, I mean, one bad moment, it can throw everything into chaos, But that's also what's exciting about it, dude,
Very true. And speaking about touring again, you're going on tour very soon across the U.S. How do you feel about the upcoming shows as well as the other bands on the lineup?
Yeah, we're heading out here. We leave Saturday to begin the tour. I think the tour starts Monday or something. But man, I'm excited about it. I mean, like, you know, we're bringing out good bands. We split it up. Half of the tour will be done with Misery Index as the main support, and the other half will be with Origin. And that's exciting, you know what I mean? It's exciting too that halfway through the tour is kind of going to change, you know. Yeah. And I mean, I think both bands are fantastic, man. I know people from both bands. I've actually known a lot of these people for over 20 years. You know, so just getting out and being able to, you know, check them out every night, and then being able to check us out and hang out in the off times is a great thing. And the other bands on the bill are fantastic, man. Dreaming Dead is it's an all-female band that is just one of the most vicious things I've ever seen in my life, you know. And Hate Storm Annihilation, man, they've got some really cool old school feeling shit going on that, I mean, we really appreciate it and want to take them out with us, you know. Pardon me.
No problem. What could fans expect from the Morbid Angel live show on this tour?
I mean, I would, you know, expect to come in and hear a lot of songs that are just going to rip your head off. I mean, we're mixing up the set throughout the tour. You know, we're going to keep sort of rotating songs and things like that. We're trying to keep it as diverse as we can and keep it as exciting as we can for us as well, you know. So we have a pretty big catalog with a lot of options, and we want to play a lot of songs, you know. So we'll be mixing it up as the tour goes on. So I think, really, honestly, you never kind of know what you're going to get night to night.
How do you see the state of metal in 2018, and do you think it's rising or falling in popularity?
Oh, it's definitely rising. I mean, you know, metal always seems to really explode during times of great animosity, and I believe that, you know, we're in a state of animosity right now. There's a lot of chaos across the world, but especially where we're at here in the United States, a lot of animosity going on. There are a lot of people who hate our current president, a lot of people who hate our former president, and it just, honestly, it doesn't seem like anyone really kind of wants to cross that line and shake hands, you know what I mean? So it's just, it really has led, I think, a lot of people to, you know, turn to metal, just not unlike the late 80s and stuff. You know, I mean, you have a few years of a crazy world, and suddenly metal always seems to just explode with new music, you know, and people interested in it. And it's really because it's you know, heavy metal is about escaping, man. It's about, you know, letting out the angst and sort of dealing with it, as opposed to just trying to smile and act like you're happy, you know?
And can we expect anything else from Morbid in 2018 or 19?
As far as new music, I would say no. I mean, obviously, I don't think we'll be recording again for another couple years, but, man, we are going to be playing everywhere. I mean, it's, you know, the itinerary is quite full, you know.
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm hoping to see you guys in Sacramento when you guys come through.
Yeah, man, looking forward to it. That's about a month from now or so, you know, but, man, I'm really looking forward. I love California. It's always fun to get out there, man. It's has a whole different vibe to the East Coast, so, you know, it's a good time, man.
Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, man, you have a great day. Thanks.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.